Welcome to Control and Compete. Today we're joined by Carroll from HP Ferrari Esports. How are you, Graham?
I'm very well, thank you very much for having me.
Love to have you on. I think first time I was aware of you or met you, I think it would have been back in 2018 at Resonate.
Right, okay,
I think you were there.
Yep.
I think you spoke about you raced for another team. Can you say what team it was at that point?
Well, I've done them all, right? I was in.
How did you start then, Graham?
Well, let's get back to it.
That's a good way to lead. Then you can mention things maybe, yeah?
So my old man used to have a Formula Ford racing team up at Knockhill before
nice.
I was born.
Right.
So when I was born...
I'm near Pow Mill, so I'm actually from that area. So
okay,
I know
nice,
Knockhill.
nice. So I used to go up to Knockhill and just sort of jump about the tyres while he was mechanic and looking after the cars, sit in the cars, watch the races. And I think I've just been hooked ever since. So as soon as I got to 7, 8 year old, we had a local kart track called Raceland.
Right.
And my old man, he used
where
to
was
work,
that then? Was
that's
that
in McMary, sort of the other way from Edinburgh, sort of down the coast.
Right.
So my old man used to go to work in the morning and drop me off at Raceland with some fuel, and I used to lap all day, and he used to pick me up on the way home, sort of thing. So
amazing.
It's so started off in go-karts, was Scottish champion. I think we finished like 3rd, 4th and 5th in the British Championships, and this was at like 9 year old.
So what year was that then?
That would have been 1998.
Right.
Honestly, and we never really, we just sort of chucked ourselves, my old man chucked me in at the deep end, right into British Championships.
No, it's not like dropping your kid off and forget the sandwiches, just as long as they left him with the petrol.
But I think it was the best thing for you, let's not worry about little club races, get straight into the British Championships and learn from all the good guys, and we did. So 3rd, 4th and 5th, moved our way up through the championships. It's like Scottish champion a few times. We got into cars. I won like a free year in a car with the BRDC, Ginetta Juniors.
Right.
We've done that, won a few races.
And what kind of car was that?
It's a Ginetta Junior, so it's like a little saloon car with a roof, but pretty slow, and it's for like 14, 15, 16 year olds just to get into racing.
Right.
So it started us off there, and I moved into Formula Ford.
Right.
So you see them up at Knockhill. I was sort of Knockhill Scottish champion in Formula Ford, British champion. Also won like the Walter Hayes Trophy. It's sort of like the biggest race in Formula Ford in the year. People from all over the world come over. So done a lot of real racing, but it just sort of led up to this. We're going to go into Porsche Carrera Cup.
Right.
£250,000 a year. And
wow.
With my old man and my mum, none of us have got that type of money, right? So it's, we tried for sponsorship, we really did, but it was in 2008, the credit crunch.
Nightmare.
And honestly, it was really disappointing. All I'd done my whole life was
racing.
sort of like go to racetracks, get ready for races, and I'm 18 year old and I didn't really know what to do with myself. So I started playing Gran Turismo.
As you do, right.
I missed the leaderboard, the chasing times and being competitive. So I went into Gran Turismo and I could see these times, and before I knew it, I wasn't the best at the game, but I was one of the best in the world at Gran Turismo.
And what cars did you go? What did you do in Gran Turismo?
Honestly, it was just anything. There was a leaderboard, just saloon cars, vans, like just whatever Gran Turismo gave us, right? So it was
Carroll, transit champion.
So anything, and learnt all these different circuits I'd never known about, doing karting in my real life. So. So that would have been good.
That would have been good actually. If you spent a lot of time in Knockhill, I quite like to talk about Knockhill. What's the one that did?
We've got Duffus Dip.
Right. Okay. So I was privileged enough to kind of take a walk round it. That's steep.
And it's
how do you take that? Because
it's blind.
Surely you can't take it in the air.
It's blind. You just got to go in and you can see the curb on the entry and aim for the curb and know that when you hit that curb, you're kindly just sort of taking off. We've done it so many times, but the other one going up through the chicane is blind as well, and it's got like a tyre stack that you need to kind of skiff through.
Right.
It's just practice.
Do you like it?
I think if you can drive Knockhill when you go the blind, when you go up through the chicane and the hairpin, if you can drive Knockhill aggressively and fast, you can go to any circuit in the UK and be fast.
Right.
It takes a bit of balls really, right? It really does, but you go to Silverstone, it's just flat. Big fast corners where Knockhill, you've really got to sort of
That's what I mean, because you can't brake in mid-air and you can't turn in mid-air, so that hill for me, I always thought to myself, how do you take that?
You can use a wee bit of the pit exit, so you sort of go, put half your car into there and sort of get your car. I was always in Formula Ford, so no wings. It was all just done to mechanical grip, so you're dancing about, so you've sort of got to flick it in and get it angled before you even hit the curb. So it's an awesome track, and even like iRacing brought it out in the last couple of years. So I've been able to do it on iRacing.
What's Verstappen's time on Knockhill then?
I've not seen him on there, to be honest. It's not the most popular track.
You should stay and listen. He does in Nuremberg and that. He needs to get on Knockhill.
He's racing the Nürburgring, the Nordschleife today in GT3.
See, that's what.
Really, really
see,
cool.
when you see drivers like yourself, and I can just feel your passion for it already. And the fact that somebody like Max, you would think, and his day off, F1 driver, you might think they'd be in beaches and that, but the fact you're taking it and still doing it, eh?
He's just had a kid and stuff and everything, and the guy's at Nordschleife today
That's
racing.
Why he's there.
He's honestly, he's a different breed. It's like, we're talking about it with my old man, like, he does the Nürburgring 24-hour with his mates and on the sim, and he's just went, I'm doing this in real life now, and it's just, it must be so similar, but I know what it's like to go out there and really do like a team event and it go really well, to transfer it from the sim to the real life, and obviously to have the money to do it's one part, but it must just be so enjoyable, and to get away from the F1 scene and do something else as well.
Well, with less cameras, less spotlight.
I'll tell you though, just him being there has attracted a lot of attention, so he'll make that even bigger than it is. But nah, really, really cool to see. But nah, to have Verstappen involved, I've done quite a few things with him in the past. I was in his house racing with him and stuff. And
do you know what? I'll just say one thing, right? I grew up watching F1, and I was David Coulthard era, right? So that was obviously, you know, I love David Coulthard, and I think it was with McLaren and Lewis Hamilton. And see that I would say that I like F1, and I think. But football was my jam, but I've never experienced sport like that year that Hamilton lost it. That was entertainment to the max. And see when Verstappen came off at Silverstone, it was just wild, eh? Like that was like, I mean, you must have been, for a racing fan, having that rivalry of those two guys together. That was amazing, eh?
See, I've loved Hamilton all my life, but like I've got to know Max a little bit and stuff, so it's like I really like Hamilton for what he's done, and he's British.
Yeah.
Like I know Max as well, and I've got a lot of respect for the way he goes about himself, like Max. He's just a pure guy, like
and ruthless.
Doesn't care about anything else, just racing and winning, and what I really like
but
about him.
But you've got to respect, so people in a sense, you talk about Schumacher, you talk about all the greats, right? And I think they've all have to have that ruthlessness, because you can't be Mr. Nice Guy, eh?
Exactly, you can't be
You've seen him with Norris and that. I used to think about Norris came off the track and he'd be, oh Max, like, don't be like that. Because you're just a weakness.
Max just must look at him and be like,
I've got your number.
Exactly, mate. But I fully agree. He's a ruthless guy, and you just have to, I think, I've never experienced, but I even think other sports and stuff, you've probably still got to have that wee bit.
You've got to. If you're that passionate and you're that competitive, I mean, there's one thing to be dirty, right? But being ruthless as well, and actually taking, like even when he was talking about doing so even just how silly he makes people look. So when they're getting their tyres warm and that, right? And the boy who was it behind him was just sitting.
Saints at the weekend, and he went to do it as well.
And he done it, and he's off.
He's on top of everything.
That was good, eh? Because he must have known that. And then as soon as he started doing the weave and he was away.
He's been doing it for so long as well, and his old man's done it for so long. Like everything's just so dialed into.
You can tell his old man's ruthless as well.
You can tell, and it's just ran in the family. But nah, really, really cool. And honestly, what he's done for sim racing as well, him being so present in it.
Yeah.
And I didn't get Lando into sim racing, but when I seen him in the first few times he was online, I got writing about him. I tried to help him, and I got pally with him, and we're playing Call of Duty to 6 in the morning. But Lando's done the sim racing, but he's maybe not taking it as seriously. Verstappen's like invested in a top team. I was in that team before Red Bull. He's invested in the team, he sort of helps everyone out. He's as passionate as the actual professional sim racers. If he never had F1, and even that he does F1, he's honestly one of the best sim racers in the world.
Right.
And other top athletes didn't ever really get that involved. Hamilton doesn't even touch a simulator. Everyone, each of their own and stuff. But
he's investing in like Sambuca or something kind of alcohol. But even so, with Lando, I think he had the Halo. So I think Lando had his esports org as well. And he went into the Halo side of it.
Yep. He's got this quadrant and stuff now as well that he does stuff with. So they all do different stuff. But nah, respect to like where it's due. Max does. He's really sort of. I've done a competition again. I shouldn't really say it. Porsche Carrera Cup Esports. PESC, it's called an iRacing. I qualified one year, and the guy next to me on the grid was Verstappen. He had went through the qualification
to get there.
So again, it's really cool to have him there. But
that's pureness, eh? That's what you want.
And even to beat him on the same circuit as well. But also he's.
What do you like on the F1 sim then? Do you play that much?
I was so when F1 Esports first happened, I knew sort of Max, and I sort of went to him and says, "Look, I'm trying to get involved in Red or F1 Esports."
It's Perez is surely finished, not.
So I went to the qualifier, and the Red Bull guy walked in and went, "You don't even need to drive today. You're a pick kind of thing." So I got picked to go with Red Bull.
Nice.
At the time I'd done it, F1 games are very arcadey and unique. iRacing, Assetto Corsa, LMU, it's like driving a realistic car.
I couldn't even get off the ground in the Assetto Corsa. Right, so I got given the GT Omega for Christmas. It was the wheel, right? And I remember sitting in I tried it, it was Assetto Corsa, and I couldn't even get the thing off the ground. What's that?
Honestly,
that's embarrassing, right? But it just shows you compared to the other games.
I couldn't even load up. iRacing was a website to start with.
Yeah, right.
When I first got onto it, I'm like, so where's the game I download? I'm rubbish with PCs, but Oh no, it's the F1 game is a very unique game. So if I go and play it right now, it would take me honestly 8 hours of a day to get really onto like a Blakely or an Opney, and I still wouldn't get there.
So we've had Lucas on the show as well.
Yep,
so Lucas are the cool guys.
Really, really cool. When I qualified and got picked at Red Bull, him and his old man were there that didn't get picked that day. And they were both like gutted, really, really gutted. And it showed me that I'd been in the sim racing, I'd been picked by Red Bull, Lucas was new to it, and I said to him, look, didn't take it as a negative here. Go away, work your arse off, get picked by a team, and look where he is now. So really, really proud of him and what he's done. It's no like driving a racing car. Like I watch your Jarno Opmeer videos, he's probably one of the best guys on it. It's an arcade game that caters for a 1-year-old to a 99-year-old. If you'd go into iRacing or rFactor or Assetto Corsa, it's like a driving experience where I'm good at driving cars, so I can adapt to that and be quick. Where F1, it's very unique and it's got its own wee ways of driving.
You're glued to the road, eh?
Exactly. It's just it's great to drive some circuits.
See with the ones that you're talking about in the real, I would say the real cars you're driving, right? That's intense, keeping those things. Like, I don't know how you get fast with them because like they're like alive, eh?
Like the new 499, so the hypercar for Ferrari at the minute. It's an awesome car.
So what are you driving at the moment then?
That's I'm driving sort of Le Mans Ultimate with a Ferrari. Obviously all Ferraris. I'm the current British F1 Esports champion. I won that last year with Ferrari in the F4 cars. And again, being 35, I'm racing a bunch of like 16 to 20-year-olds. So
what's the difference? What do you think then the difference between those kind of age?
Okay, they all want to win at the first corner.
Right, there you go. Right, so there you go. It's exactly that. So your old boy will see a difference in you compared to his. Everybody does, and that's life, right? So you think that's the thing? Everyone's wanting that first corner. See, if you play Forza, I know it's an Xbox thing, nightmare. So even trying to get around if you manage to get the whole game is get around the first corner. Hey.
Honestly, last year, right, I think it was 8 rounds, like 16 races. Everybody in the championship had a penalty point.
There you go.
Bar for the old guy, right?
Man, right?
At the start of the season, I've got one of my mates that I'm best mates with, and we've talked about it, and we both says the guys that I'm going to be racing, they will shunt. 100%. I made a muck up on round 3 or 4 or something. And
How angry do you get if somebody nudges the back?
Oh, like if someone wipes me out, I'm not happy about it. But if I make a mistake and crash myself, I just have to sort of think, right, it's my fault, I can't do it again. I've got the experience where stuff like that doesn't normally happen, but it is racing, it's
just even a wee nudge in the back, eh?
And your front wing's gone, or your tyre's gone. So I just said to myself, if it comes to it and I'm fighting for a place, on you go, mate. I'm in a championship here. I want points, I want points, I want points. And at the end of the year, I won by, I think, like 60, 70 points. I never had one penalty point. And other people that got penalty points, they had a crash and they accelerated when they had the crash and they went back into the pack and caused a bigger crash. And just experiencing myself, just calm down, just relax, didn't get too excited with it. Listen, I even still do it some races that there's some quick guys, you can feel yourself, you're away and you need to just be like almost zen and just calm your nerves, because the more you're hyped up and the more you're on your high horse, your inputs and your braking and everything just start being erratic. So just being calm, and again, it's maybe a bit of experience. I've done it for so long. I've won this championship, I've done this here and that. I didn't really need to go out and win every single race. Obviously that's my goal, but maybe some of these younger guys are just so focused on being at the front. Or I even thought last year that, Graham Carroll, the older guy in a Ferrari, I was a bit of a target, because I'm kind of the experienced one that's been in it and done all these things, because all these guys have seen me before. But I just need to use that into my strong points, and it worked well last year. And at the
same time, right, nobody's wanting to see you behind them.
Exactly,
Right, so when they see that red car behind them as well, that's another mentality, is actually being able to... So what do you find trickier then? Or what do you like better? Would you rather like keep somebody in your sights and then take them closer to the end? Or would you rather just try and obviously obviously build a lead, that makes sense, but do you find it more difficult? Here's the question. Do you find it more difficult keeping somebody just behind you, or, just being behind them, chasing them?
I do prefer being away in the lead, and then you can see them or something, or you've got your gap on the screen that you can just... There's no better feeling than when you're in the lead and you've pulled away and it just keeps growing.
Purples.
That's the ultimate feeling in a big competition. If you're in the lead, sometimes you've got a car behind you, they've maybe sometimes got a lot of dirty air. So they're actually, that's as close as they can get. So you need to know, like, are they just sitting there? Are they waiting? And if I'm not in the lead, sometimes I really love is to come through the pack, like something like a reverse grid. I really like coming through the guys. And
so what races do the reverse grid?
So British F4 last year, they do a qualifying, you do your race, and then there's a dice roll that how many gets reversed or something. So
that's old school.
So sometimes I was starting, it was like sometimes 12th and all this, and I think not kill I went from 14th to 2nd. I got 2nd in the last corner, last lap, and races like that I just really enjoy. But
and here's one for you, right? So obviously, just from the F1 experience, right, you've got your softs, your mediums, your hards, and your wets, right?
Yep.
How many different tyres do you get on the cars that you drive? Is it?
It's just slicks and wets.
Right.
In this new hypercar,
is that the safe budget? Is that for?
Nah, that's just the one tyre. It's a junior series. It's not quite as high as all the other things. In Le Mans Ultimate, in the 499, you've got softs, mediums, hards, wets. But that's like a Le Mans 24-hour races in these cars and stuff, so they can change strategies and change tyre compounds. But just as we're talking about that, the worst feeling is being hunted down. Say I've got a 6-second lead, then it's 5.5. Yeah. That's when you start like mentally cracking.
You know they're coming in.
If they're on like newer tyres, you can maybe get that in your brain. But if you're in the same car, like fixed setup so it's the same, and they're just hunting you down, you're trying to go quicker, but then if you make mistakes, they're catching you quicker.
And you realise sometimes there's only so fast you can take any corner, right?
So
see, here's one for you, right? So basically, if you think you're getting hunted down, right? See, in the F1, once again, my experience, obviously there's rules that you can do if somebody's about to overtake you. What are the rules like in other racing? Is it the same? Is there a gentleman agreement, or without making a last minute?
If you go into a corner and the guy pulls out behind you, you can't react to him and defend. That's like a reactive move. You can't once you hit the brakes and you start braking, you can't really change under braking. Like you say, it's a gentleman agreement, but there is rules in place. F1's a wee bit going wild with it at the minute. Like if the car is if you make a crazy move,
you can tell someone to get annoyed with it.
But if you're ahead at the apex, it's your corner where there's been a few penalties reversed lately.
But that's why Max has been clever about it, because he would almost like use that to his advantage. So he was able to do that.
Against Lando and stuff, it's paid off on some of them. So we don't have like the rules in sim racing, and also there is some fair rules like in real racing. In real racing, if you came at a corner and your rear tyre is at their front tyre, you'd almost, honestly, you just push them off, and that's just how it is. In sim racing, that is a no-go. If you've got an overlap, the guy is allowed there. But in real racing, it's almost like the fear. You're going to have contact if you didn't back out. But in sim racing, you sometimes get spun over the front, or it's just, every game's different. But
what goes through your mind when you're sitting in the dirt, in the gravel? What is going through? Because I feel so bad for people, even on formation laps, or you see things and then suddenly they're in the gravel. You spend the amount of laps they do to get to that point. What goes through your mind?
It doesn't happen to me very much, thankfully. But
lunchtime.
It's just like you say, especially at the start of a race, because these races, it's never half an hour or something you put into this. It's hours upon hours and days. Wow. And if you get wiped out at turn, if you're wiped out, you're probably a bit raging. If you've mucked up your cell and you've sort of crashed into someone and it's your own fault, sometimes I'm just sorry about maybe hurting someone else's race. But nah, listen, it doesn't matter what it is or what game it is, I want to win, I want to be first, and if that's not happening, I'm not the happiest. But the only reason is because I'm an angry Scotsman. It's not really, but I'm just Scottish. I'm just so passionate to do well.
Do you think that's what helps you as well? Do you think giving you that passion and desire to win helps drive you along with it?
I definitely. It's being such a competitive person. As soon as I see others doing well at something or up on a leaderboard or something, I've got to get stuck into it myself. But honestly, I grew up watching Coulthard as well. He was like my sort of hero when I was growing up along with my old man, and just trying to sort of be like him when I was younger and stuff. It's got me to where I am, and that's pretty sick.
I love it. I think so. Say for example, then, right? What would be your ultimate to drive? I mean, fair enough. Let's put F1 to the side. I know I'm going on about F1, but what would be your ultimate series? If you did real series, real car, what would you'd love to race in? I mean, here's one for you as well, quickly. 24-hour Le Mans. Do you think a lot of gamers actually do well at 24-hour Le Mans? Because how long do you actually race for? I know, but you don't do a 24-hour stint. Well, just in general.
Honestly, right, when I was racing for Merck, it was in the Merck, like Hamilton's car was like underneath us. We're in the factory.
Right.
And I was struggling for a bit of pace down on their simulator and stuff, so I went first and got all my stints out of the way. I'd done like 6 hours in a row.
Wow.
I was dying for the toilet. Dying.
6 hours. And
then when I done that, basically my two teammates went and done the rest of the race. So I'd done a couple of hours somewhere else, but normally normally you get a set of tyres that'll do like 2 stints.
Right.
So you'll do like an hour and an hour. You're out the car for, then your 2 other teammates will do the same. So you've got like a 4-hour break, then you're back in for another 2. Sometimes you'll do 4. It really just depends on how many guys you've got in the car, how long the race is, what the tyres last for. All that is done within preparation leading up to it, and you've tested it and you've seen what's best and what works. And honestly,
do you could do a lot blindfolded then? Didn't you do that many? Do you know what I mean? Like, could you sit at night time, you close your eyes sometimes?
I bet you there'd be a good chance you could, because a lot of it is muscle memory. Like, it's so like, you're just so used to bang, 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 downshift and turn this, your feet.
It's like a playing an instrument,
I bet you there's people that could just shut your eyes and probably go for it and do it, because it's all force feedback and you'll feel the bumps.
That'd be quite a fun game to try, some of the drivers, and do that.
We do it sometimes, and like, we'll have like wee team competitions within the team, just for content.
Yeah.
Like, one's blindfolded and the other guy is sort of like telling them left or right and
left,
stuff.
Maybe.
It's
Remember
hard.
Do you play the rally games?
Yep.
Have you ever tried any of the rally?
I used to play a bit of like Colin McRae rally, Richard Burns rally, all that stuff back in the day. Like I say, I'm a bit older, so I've definitely played them. Maybe not like hardcore gaming them, just a bit fun, but anything that was a racing game, PlayStation 1 and all that stuff coming through, I've been on there.
I remember, I feel bad forgetting the guy's name. Who was the guy that was the Haas team leader?
Gunter Steiner.
Right. I went to Edinburgh and I seen his talk.
Right, okay, very nice.
And he was talking about being up in the mountains when he was younger, and then he was talking about McRae.
Right.
And he said that he actually was one of the team managers for McRae, and he said that McRae was by far the most talented driver ever. And he said it was Carlos Sainz's dad was actually McRae's was the other driver. And he said Carlos Sainz's dad would try, and he had he was going for it, where McRae, in a sense, just had that natural ability and didn't really have to try. It was really nice hearing his stories about McRae.
He's a legend, like really. It's just really such a shame, but what a legacy he's got, and the sort of all these Focus rally cars and the colours and stuff. They're so iconic. So
you've been to a rally before.
How
can they allow people to stand that close to them?
I don't think I've been to like
That's
a
like,
proper,
I think I'd rather go in like a bullfight and watch the rally at the side of the corner.
It must be mental stuff, but I don't think I've been to like a WRC one, but I've seen some like fancy rally cars do their stuff, but it's just like you say, going through the trees and stuff at this miles an hour, and the tiniest wee crash. I go into a gravel and these guys are going straight into a tree, so massive respect, but it's I love a bit of rallying, I really do. It's something that I'd done when I was really younger. Like I came out of karts and I got invited to like the Ford rally school, and I went down and we'd done like a couple of days at this rally school, and I ended up winning this little shootout thing, but it was just in these wee buggies, and it's just awesome.
Great fun,
awesome fun. My old man had his mate was a farmer, and we used to go down there when I was honestly like 9-year-old, even younger, and they used to have like these Cosworths. We used to slide about in them, and we used to go around these farms.
The Escort Cosworths.
So I was really I could drive a car before I was 10-year-old and stuff, and we were ripping these cars about, and just awesome fun. So I've always loved a bit of rallying, but I've just always loved single-seaters as well, like single-seater racing. So that's my passion at the minute. So.
So what have you got on the cars now then? So when's your next racing?
So I'm doing the iRacing World Championship FIA F4. So it's again, so I'm the British champion last year. I'm not doing the British this year. I've left that to 2 of my other teammates, but I'm doing the World Championship. So that starts on the 25th of next month.
Nice. And is that on Twitch, or where does that get broadcast?
It'll be probably on Twitch iRacing, YouTube iRacing as well. So that is, you don't get the circuit weeks in advance. They announce the circuit within 24 hours of the race starting.
Love it.
So it doesn't make it like a big sweat
So now you're
fest.
up all night.
You know what I mean? So it's, but I'm also going to Abu Dhabi before the final round.
Nice.
So I've got that coming up. There's also this LMU Le Mans Ultimate. It's got a new game on the scene. It's basically a new rFactor kind of thing.
Okay.
They're possibly going to announce an esports competition at the end of this year, coming into next year. So honestly, that's kind of where my head is at. This F4 thing, there's a lot of young guys that all want to win at the first corner, and my plan is just finish every race. I finished 4th in the world last year. It's going to be harder this year, but I'm just going to have the same approach, finish it, try and use my experience.
Do you know what? I'm going to watch you, mate.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Listen, thank you very much, Graham. All the best, buddy.
Thank you, mate.